Hello and welcome to another VanHack success case. My name is Ilya and I am super excited today to be joined by Andres, who is a DevOps engineer living in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Hi Andres, how you doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing nice, fine.
Great. So congratulations on your new opportunity. You recently moved here from Estonia, which is really cool. And it's also a record of 36 days from when you got your offer to when you actually moved. So we're going to talk all about that. But first, let's hear more about who you are. So tell us like your professional background. What do you work with? Please share your story.
Yeah, so well, basically I'm a DevOps. I'm like working, with anything that is like DevOps related. Amazon cloud, like mostly Amazon cloud. Like in programming languages, I don't know, Ruby. Like mostly like worked with Ruby on Rails, Golang, few other more languages. So yeah, for the like past 4.5 years, almost 5 years, I've been working mainly in like finance industry, helping launch new financial like applications on the cloud, optimize them, secure them, and yeah, pretty much like that. I've been like running infrastructure from scratch for like 2 companies so far. So yeah, this is what I've been mainly doing, and this is exactly what I'm currently doing at my new company. So yeah, DevOps.
Cool. Very, very great. Awesome. And so what made you think of, okay, I want to relocate to Canada? Where did that come from? Because you're living in Europe and moving to Canada. What inspired you?
Yeah, basically, I always wanted to move to North America since I was like a little kid because I liked, the North American lifestyle more than European because I don't know where that came from. Probably from the movies. I've been watching the movies and I always like how the people live here and how they, I don't know, celebrate all kind of, even the Christmas is celebrated like, completely different and so on. And for some reason, yeah, I just always wanted to do that. So it was like my dream. And basically last year I went to Amazon reInvent. It was in Las Vegas. Was my first time in US in North America. And that's where I decided that that's it. So I have, enough skills. My skill set is good enough. I have everything, prepared. I have a small family, so I can start doing that. So I started, researching how do I move and where do I move. And I figured out that Canada is going to be, the best place for me and for my family. Mm-hmm. Because it's the most family friendly like country. It's the safest country in the world and it's just amazing. So yeah, that's where it started.
Very cool, very cool. And then how did you find VanHack and how was your experience when you joined VanHack?
Yeah, so basically I started as a first step, as everybody probably does, I started applying like literally everywhere. I did my CV a little bit. I started applying through Monster, LinkedIn, Indeed, and so on, etc. I didn't get, much answers, and I started, like trying to, research why I don't get much answer. Probably there is a reason, the companies are not looking at the professionals from overseas, probably they're like scared and etc. And like basically when I started research, Google, started like, how Facebook and Google, they kind of hear whatever you're saying. So they kind of start, spying, showing me all kind of different ads. And one of the ads was, actually, it wasn't the VanHack, it was Ilya. And it was one of the videos where Ilya was talking, like giving an interview to some guy. And I watched the interview, I really liked it. So I went to LinkedIn, looked at Ilya, found the VanHack, started looking into that thing, went to website, registered, started, reading what VanHack, like what it is, what they do. And yeah, then I like bought the premium subscription right away because it was my investment into the good life. So like why not? Plus it's like really cheap for the thing you guys do. So yeah, I went right away, like did some like in the first week I right away like VanHack helped me refactor my CV, my LinkedIn account. I've got like thousands of good tips, started like networking like crazy on LinkedIn thanks to VanHack. Mm-hmm. And basically one of my first days when I was researching VanHack, I found that you guys are doing this kind of cool event called Leap, which is going to happen in Toronto, which means like where in that event you're just like bringing top developers to Canada to meet like his employers directly. And I thought like, it would be a nice investment to, buy a ticket, fly there, like check it out myself. So I wrote to Ilya, to you. You told me to contact Ash. I contacted Ash. Ash was like, looked at my profile and he was like, yeah, sure. Why not? So like buy a ticket and come join us. So yeah, and then that's where it like, all started going out really fast.
Definitely. So let's talk about Leap, because that was really a great experience, a unique one. So you flew in. It was you and about 19, 20 other devs. But you got hired actually even before Leap. So tell me about that. So you started interviewing at the company you're working at now, virtually, and then when you arrived at Leap, you actually went there for the in-person interview. How was that experience?
So yeah, basically it happened, in a way that just before the Leap event, Ash, like member of VanHack, who was, organizing this event, he was really not just, just bringing developers, but he was, inspecting every developer, like personally, carefully checking what kind of skills they have to actually match them with a company. So he called me like a few days before the Leap. He told me like what companies there are. He asked me like what exactly like I'm looking for. And then on the next day he calls me and says like, there is a new company that just joined VanHack and their profile, is matching 100% yours. And they would also probably want to go to Leap. How about, you do some like, can you do interview in like 30 minutes? I said, yeah, sure. And that's where I did, 3 or 4 interviews with these guys, like straight before the Leap event. And I agreed, that I'm like coming a few days before the Leap event, so I could, drive to Waterloo, Kitchener and have a like interview on site. So yeah, that's what happened. I went to an interview. I mean, I liked it the same way as it was like interviews, like, online. The company is amazing. It seemed like, 100% fit in like in what I want to do, what the company is doing, and the team felt awesome. So yeah, I was, eagerly expecting the offer, like right on the Leap event when we had this like few interviews. So I actually had 3 or like 4 interviews booked on Friday. But yeah, actually Ash and other guys helped, like push the company and like get the offer ready so we could, do it as soon as possible. And luckily I was lucky to receive an offer just before like one of my first interviews. And yeah, like I accepted the offer because I liked it so much. I like the company so much. So I actually had to cancel like the interviews that I didn't leave. So I didn't do them, but yeah, it was still, I've got like tons of connections. There was a nice event on Thursday. I saw a lot of developers doing interviews on Friday, and I think a lot of developers got like actual offers as well. So yeah, the event has been, quite crazy. You had a chance to meet with employers like directly face to face.
Yeah. And you also got to go, to Waterloo before the event. So it was kind of like a little mini Leap for you, even though, it probably make a difference, right? When you meet the company face to face, you're more comfortable to want to move there and work with them. And also they are more comfortable to hire you. So it worked.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So now let's get into the most exciting part for me, which is you got 36 days after you got this offer, you were in Canada and with a work permit, and you were able to start working right after Canada Day weekend, actually, which is really cool. So how was that process with the visa? So you got the offer, they had an immigration company help you, and then what happened?
Yeah, so basically after the offer, I knew that I'm like I had like a couple of calls with immigration like company that, was helping my current company. I had a feeling it's going to be fast because they explained, the whole process. Like there are some like tips and tricks that we can do. So I didn't want to, waste time. I started, reading myself, what do I need to prepare, how I need to do it. And as soon as they asked me like for like bunch of papers to prepare, I gathered all the required papers in the same day. It wasn't that hard. I sent all of the required documents to them, and then I was just like waiting. And while I was waiting, I was like preparing, like just move already. Even though like you're never sure that are you getting the offer or not, like are you getting approval or not. I was still, quite confident in myself. I sold my car. I closed all kind of contracts, sold some other belongings. So yeah, and I was prepared, and I basically I knew that I wanted to start after the Canada Day, so on 3rd of July, and I kept pinging and spamming the company that was doing the immigration, asking like, did you receive the government approval yet? And like pretty much on Wednesday, like before my flight, they answered me, yes, we have all the documents. And I double checked them. Can I buy a ticket as soon as possible? They said, yeah, you can buy a ticket on Saturday. We're going to send you all the documents on Friday. That's what I did. I bought the flight tickets, put all my stuff together. And I was just waiting. And they actually sent me all the required documents probably 6 hours before the flight. So now I was still, quite scared, but I managed to gather everything and just fly. And when I entered Canada, it was unexpectedly awesome and fast. I was expecting, I was applying for my working permit on entry. So I was expecting that it's going to take a few hours maybe. So when I arrived, I went to the immigration board. Everybody, was nice. I didn't expect, even at the immigration board, that's a place where usually nobody's, happy. Everybody looks mad and pissed off. But in Canada, everyone was happy. I gave my documents to the lady. She was like, yeah, just go sit for a couple of minutes. I was sitting. And then she 5 minutes later, she calls me and says here, all your documents are approved. You're good to go. I was like, really? She was like, yeah, that's it.
Wow. 5 minutes for a work permit.
Yeah.
Amazing. So just to recap, you got it at the port of entry, which means you got it where you arrived at the airport, or it could be at a land border, something like this. And you flew with your LMIA and a few other documents, your transcript, your diploma translated, your merit certificate translated, a few other things, medical exams, offer letter in a package, showed up, gave them all those documents. 5 minutes later, boom, work permit is in your passport.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Exciting. Well, very, very cool. So again, the record 36 days, that's really fast. And basically, if you think about hiring, if company were to hire someone locally, it probably would take maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how long they have to give notice. So it's almost the same as hiring someone locally, but they were just able to find a senior DevOps engineer right away. So that's pretty cool. Okay, cool. So how has it been? You've been in Canada for, I guess, exactly a week now. Today's Saturday. It was last Saturday that you arrived, right? How has it been your first week in Canada?
It's been crazy awesome. I mean, I keep falling in love with Canada even more. I arrived exactly on the next day was Canada Day. So I had a chance to go to all kind of events and see how people are celebrating it. It was quite crazy. Everybody's happy for their country. Everybody waving flags. Everybody's in a good mood. But overall, I can see the difference right away, which is quite shocking. Culturally shocking for me. Whenever I go to shops, I see some people dressed I don't know, some village people, and you don't, when you see this kind of people in Europe or any other country, you're and they're pass by you don't expect to hear anything from them, or you don't expect to hear anything in a good manner from them. But every time I'm I'm getting quite shocked, because every time I see random people are just passing by, everybody says sorry. So there, I'm standing somewhere in a shop watching some trying to choose some product, and then I'm not close to the aisle. Somebody goes by and they always say oh, sorry. So yeah, the country is quite unexpected for me, but yeah, I just love it.
That's great. And key question: do you have your car yet that you wanted to get?
No, not really. I need to right now. I'm in the process of getting everything. I opened the bank account, but waiting for my credit card. To buy a car, I actually need to have a Canadian driving license. Otherwise, I cannot get the insurance. So I just went to the drive test, did my application. So now I just can come in any day, do my writing test, and I'm going to do a driving test. And that's it. I have a license and I can go buy any car I want.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I'm sure that'll be just a matter of time. Cool, Andres. And last question is, if you have one piece of advice for someone who is interested in doing what you're doing, relocating to a new country, Canada or somewhere else maybe, what would you say to them, or what would be your advice?
Yeah, so my advice is, if you think about it, if you're really want to move and you're prepared to move, make everything in your power to move. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, to quit your existing job or start selling stuff before you got an approval. Prepare everything, get ready. because if you know if you want it, you're gonna be moving. So.
Definitely, yeah. Make sure you can leave no stone unturned and really work towards it. It's not an easy thing, but it's definitely possible. So
Yeah, exactly.
cool, awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing your experience on this. And if you're watching this, you like what we want to see more videos, subscribe, give a like, comment if you have any questions. We're here. We want to help. And of course, sign up to vanhack.com with a free profile. Apply to some jobs. We have tons of jobs that are sponsoring visa in many countries. And I wish you all the best. Congratulations again, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, Ilya.